Triton Nation, welcome to Chicago, Illinois. We are here at the Chicago Lions home field. Iowa Central is taking on Indiana University. We are going to have a first side and a second side. It's about 1 p.m. here in Chicago, and it is the Windy City. Solid breeze coming across the field. Probably going to be here all day. First kickoff goes high. Tap backwards into the hands of LaDon Mathis. Scrum advantage to the Tritons to start this one. Herbert Evans making a first step. Got one stiff arm off. He's looking for some support. Gets it out to Harrison Dalton. Tavius Secor Mathis going to the outside. 4-on-4 crime there. Big hit by Indiana. Into the channel, Philip Woodhouse gets it out to Xavier Ellis. Xavier Ellis is going to be tossed into touch, and it's going to be a line out to Indiana. Oh, I apologize. It's not going to be a line out. That's a penalty. I'm not sure what the call was. All the same, Hugo Menard going to put a boot to it. And boot indeed. Over the fence it goes. Our first look here, Colin Butine's going to be on the throw. Rain Nick playing loose head. Lane Prusner playing tight head. We're going to have Tavius Secor Mathis and LaDon Mathis at the locks. Philip Woodhouse and I'm not sure who the other flanker is, to be completely honest. George Brenda, I apologize. George Brenda at the other flank with Philip Woodhouse. And Dakota Chuck Southworth in the back lane, 8-man. Indiana's breaking down the sideline here. Good contact on the tackle there by Tony Robinson. And it's going to go into touch. It's going to be a line out to the Tritons. Back half of your lineup here. Aiden Farrell is going to be playing 9. 10 is Hugo Menard. 11 is Xavier Ellis. Playing 12 is Harrison Dalton. 13 is Herbert Evans. 14 is Tony Robinson. And playing 15 is Raquel Tesagui. Play on, says the sir. It's going to be a knock, though. It's going to be our first look at a scrum down. Indiana on the put. It's going to be lost forward and received. But he was behind him when it was knocked forward, so it is going to just be a scrum down to the Tritons. Strong contest from Indiana there, but held tight. This ball is going to be kicked over. It's going to bounce in. It's going to stay in for a nice dribble. And finally, it's going to touch out deep in Indiana territory. Inside the 22, Indiana is against the wind to start this first half, but I would still expect probably a kick out. They go for the maul. First attempt sacked, drove through for a few extra meters there. And Indiana is outside their 22 now. Kick still coming, sky high. Tony Robinson on the catch. He's just going to take this into contact. Triton's able to secure. Poacher, part of the tackler, says the sir. Hugo Menard is going to bite off a good chunk of territory there, and it's going to be a Triton line now, about 10 from the try zone. Good middle ball here, and Triton's going to have an attempt at a maul of their own. Sacked well by Indiana. This ball is going to get settled. Colin Butine taking that one in. But Don Mathis running into contact. Another clean poach. This time they get away with it, and Indiana has an overload. Ball lost forward. And it's going to be a scrum advantage to the Tritons. And we are going to play the advantage. Scrum down Iowa Central. Indiana had a nice looking breakaway there. Dug them out of their territory. Unfortunately for them, the ball was lost forward. Put by Aiden Farrell. Big push by Indiana. Triton's holding strong. This was one out to Hugo Menard. Hugo Menard to Harrison Dalton. Out the back door to Hugo Menard again. Over to Ray Kyle. Strong open field contact. An attempted offload there is going to come off the face of Hugo Menard, and it's going to be a breakaway by number 14. 14's looking for some support. Tosses it back. Finds the ground, and it's going to be a double knock on. Not a double knock, actually. It looks like advantage was gained from the original knock by the Tritons. And it is going to be a scrum down to Iowa Central. Tritons answer with a strong push of their own. This ball's going to hit the deck, though. Hugo Menard is going to have to chase it back deep into territory. He's going to look to kick for touch. And he finds it. Line out to Indiana. It's going to be a high tackle advantage, I believe. Arm went up. And I believe the arm was just to say to get back. It was not an advantage. I apologize on that. It will be a line out to the Tritons.
Go, Hoosiers!
Maul coming from the Tritons. Got a lot of forward momentum going for him. George Brenda's going to pull this out the back. It's going to get settled down. Hugh Menard gets this one out the back to Tony Robinson. Tony Robinson found a gap in the middle of 4 men. He's looking for some space. Strong step. He's going to get this out to Ray Kalataisagu. He's going to get it out to Xavier Ellis. We'll see if that was a forward pass or not. Not entirely sure here. Clean says the Sir try awarded Tritons. Tony Robinson does it again. From up here, he definitely looked like he was going to get swallowed up by 3 or 4 defenders, and he just found a pathway. I believe that was Xavier Ellis who finished that one off. Harrison Dalton with quite the kick attempt ahead of him here. That is a heck of a boot. Line drive through the post, slotted up and put 2 on the board. We got 7-0 tally here to about 11 minutes in. Nice high kick there and a strong chase from Indiana again. And it's going to be scooped up by the hooker. Another offload to no man's land. Was recovered by Indiana. Strong line speed there, but he was able to find a place to get that ball out. Indiana's still knocking. It's going to be a penalty for Indiana. We'll see what they elect to do here. They're kind of wide. See if they want post or if they want touch. Maybe even scrum down. Kick for touch. They'll line out Indiana at the 5. Indiana front ball. Another nice sack there by the Tritons. It's going to stop that maul from getting any momentum. This ball's going to be out wide in the hands of the fullback. Kick through, touchdown by Tony Robinson. It's going to be a 22-meter drop for the Tritons. Just a reminder, all this ball has to do is drop kick and pass at 22, and it's significantly goes over the head of the fly half, all the way back to his own 22 now. Xavier Ellis on the hunt. Triton's defense. Nice run in contact there by the number 15, who gets it off to Herbert Evans, who's playing 13. Whoa. A lot of unnecessary aggression over on the ruck here for no reason. Pulled through, slammed his head straight to the ground. In the meantime, Indiana's knocking on the door again. Try awarded. Indiana's got 5 on the board underneath the post. Conversion attempt coming to see if they can score this one up 7-7. Through the uprights and into the parking lot. 7-7 is a tally. Jaden Love in for George Brenda here. Back in at flank. Nice deep kick here. Triton defense all sucked in. Indiana on the hunt. Pass backwards. Lane Prusner making an attack on a flanker there. Jaden Love just into the game, already making his presence known. Chase that guy down from behind. That was Chuck with the tackle there to go to Southworth. Nice line by the lock. He's going to try to take the fullback head on. Diving through the, or not releasing is the call. Ray Kyle Taisagui doing a nice job getting his hands in there. Tritons with the penalty. Kick for touch coming. It stays in the field. It's going to be a deep ball, but Tony Robinson on the hunt. But the fullback for play on, says the sir. Tony Robinson with another carry into contact there. Play on, says the sir. Not 10 is the call. Nice quick tap and go there by Hugo Menard. He's going to kick for touch. Solid boot. It's going to be a line out Tritons. About 15 out. Colin Butine on the throw. Over the top. Both teams on the hunt. Harrison Dalton's going to be the one to scoop it up. Pick and go for the Tritons coming. Knees on the ground. Not releasing the tackle, says the sir. Kick for post coming. An attempt to go up by 3. Harrison Dalton able to boot one through there. That's going to be 10-7 for the count. Triton set to receive.
Go Hoosiers!
Very physical match by both sides today. This kick goes a little deeper off the hands of LaDon Mathis into touch. It's going to be a line out to Indiana. Couldn't quite find that one in the sun, I suppose. Indiana gets it to the back. Number 13 with a strong crash ball. Number 13, Herbert Evans, doing a nice job tackling. Philip Woodhouse able to wrap up the fullback finally. Big number 4 for Indiana, doing a nice job with ball in hand so far today. Scrum half pick and go right off the ruck. This ball is going to be lost forward by Indiana, and it's going to be a scrum down to the Tritons. Strong push by Indiana. Triton's able to get that one out. It's into the hands of Xavier Ellis. He's going to find a gap. He's got the pace. He's got some support with him. He needs to take this one in. He's going to get it settled. Ray Kyle, Taisagui, and Tony Robinson able to secure the ruck. Triton's on the march again. Kick over the top by Hugo Menard. Nobody's back there. Herbert Evans on the hunt. Indiana bounce, and the fullback for Indiana is going to be on the counter. I believe that's going to be a penalty advantage. Ended up around the head. He did release it, but the arm did go there. No vicious intent, so no card. But it's going to be a high tackle. And chance for Indiana to bite off a little bit of territory here. They are kicking into a strong wind. Finds touch. Indiana line out. Another maul attempt, another sack. Both teams doing a pretty solid job on defense against the mauls today. Strong run by number 8 there, getting a stiff arm on. That ball is going to pop out, kicked forward by Indiana. LaDon Mathis able to jump on that one to secure it. I'm not sure who that was on the ruck. I think that was Aiden Farrell, scrum half, securing a ruck there. Ray Nick lowering her shoulder. Offsides by Indiana, says the sir. Penalty advantage. The wind is coming from the backside of blue and across field. Nice kick by Hugo Menard there. It's going to be a line out on the 10 for Iowa Central. Middle ball secured well in the hands of LaDon Mathis. Colin Butine's going to be the one to take it out. Harrison Dalton's going to get this one out wide into the hands of Xavier Ellis. He's got a bit of a lane on the outside. Nice hunt by the winger for Indiana, making that tackle. He had a lot of open field in front of him. Must have been a blood sub because George Brenda's back on for Jaden Love. Not releasing the ball, says the sir. Indiana gets the penalty. Number 12 needed a breather, it looks like. He's back just fine, though. Gonna stop play for him. A good line out by Indiana there. Number 4 going up and getting that one. Number 14 for Indiana with a nice break on the inside there. Tony Robinson hunting him down from behind. Indiana's charging again. And it was going to be knocked by Indiana. Scrum down to the Tritons. Strong push by Indiana again. Tritons held strong, though. Hugo Menard to Herbert Evans. Herbert Evans on the crash. George Brenda running hard, but the tight head prop is able to strip that one in the tackle. And Indiana get it back. 8-man, picking and going off the ruck. Ball lost forward again by Indiana. Triton's going to need to settle this one and get this ball out. Deep in their own territory. Hugo Menard gets a boot to it. No question if it found touch. It's just a question on where exactly. Outside of the 22, so a nice chunk of territory there for the Tritons. But it will be an Indiana line out. Another maul attempt, another good sack. Good counter ruck there by Dakota Southworth. Indiana gets it out. That was Herbert Evans making a tackle. That ball was out, says this. No, was not out. It appeared out, was not. Penalty to Indiana. See what they elect to do. Down 3. Got about 8 minutes left in the first half. It will be a kick for touch. Another strong sack there. Ball was able to get placed though. Fly half's gonna get this one out to 12. Who gets it offload back inside to number 14. They've been setting that one up for a little bit here. Try time Indiana. It'll be 12-10 pending conversion attempt. A nice tip, but the ball, I think it still went through. Tavius Sikora Mathis was able to get a hand on it. That ball did find its way just over the post, though. So it is going to be 14-10. Indiana set to receive. Philip Woodhouse on the hunt. Nice tackle there. Pick and go to the weak side by the tight head prop. Kick, high ball coming. Slap backwards by not slap backwards by Indiana. They're going to say it was lost forward by Blue. And And going to be a scrum down to Indiana. Got about 4 minutes left in this first half. This one's going to get to the outside. Number 6 is going to be having the final leg of this race. Let's see if he can beat it. He cannot. That's going to be hunted down from behind, and a strong poach attempt. Not releasing the ball, says the sir. Penalty awarded to the Tritons. And that's Jaden Love down holding his leg. He just subbed in. Jaden Love's going to get carried off here. That leg looks to be hurting pretty bad. He's a pretty tough kid, so if he ain't limping off on his own, that's not looking good. It'll be Gus Sokol subbing on for him. I believe it's still going to be an Iowa Central penalty. Kick for touch. And it will be a Triton line out. We're back to play here. Nice line out defensively for Indiana there. And they're going to be charging again. Ball out wide. Iowa Central bounce. It's going to be in the hands of the winger, number 14. He's going to get it off to the fullback. That is a shifty, quick individual. He gets it out to number 12. Ruck secured. Hooker on hooker crime there. Nice tackle by Colin Buton in the open field. Indiana just has all the momentum right now. into the hands of the hooker. Iowa Central spent 2 guys counter ruck and a ruck that was already lost just for the number 9 to pick it right off the tackle and take it in. It's going to be try time Indiana. Conversion successful. 21-10 is the tally. I think we've got about a minute before halftime. Deep ball coming from Hugo Minar. Received well into the hands of the fullback. He's going to get it over wide. Strong counter on the weak side. It's going to be number 13 off to the races. He's going to shred the entire defense, and it's going to be try time under the post for Indiana on the last play of the half. This is a glimpse of Iowa Central rugby from 2017-2018 there for Indiana. Conversion successful, 28-10. It's going to be halftime. Giants going to need to make some adjustments, read the defense a little bit better, just find a little bit of fire to put in the belly. We'll be back with you at the start of the second half. And we are back here for the second half of Iowa Central versus Indiana. First half finished with a bang for Indiana. Iowa Central kicked off. Hoosiers took it to the house. Whistle blew. And we are 28-10 at the beginning of the second set of 40. Hugo Minar due to kick off for the Tritons. Received well by Indiana. Stolen ball by Iowa Central there into the hands of Hugo Minar. He gets it off to Lane Prusiner. First contact made around the chin, not called. Hugo Minar gets this one out to Harrison Dalton, who's looking to get it wide. Nice chop tackle there. And it's going to be holding on, says the sir. Back 10, Iowa Central. Big kick for touch. This one bounces on the line. Miscue there. Colin Butine's going to receive that for the Tritons. Iowa Central's going to get this one kicked out. It's going to be another line out to Indiana. Right about the same spot. We are against the wind here in the second half for the Tritons. Indiana having a conference before the line out. Not straight, and a free kick coming for Iowa Central. Iowa Central's going to elect for a scrum down on the 15. Into the hands of Hugo Minari, gets it out to Herbert Evans. Herbert Evans on the crash ball. He's still driving. That is a tackle, says the sir. Aiden Farrell getting hit pretty hard there. And it's going to be a penalty for talking against Indiana. This ball's into the hands of Gus Sokol. He gets it out wide to Xavier Ellis. He gets it off to Lane Prusner. Lane Prusner does a very good job of holding on there. Hugh Menard gets this one out to Colin Butine, who's going to be hit deep in the backfield. Settles in nicely, though. Tritons are getting a little bit of momentum. Harrison Dalton gets that out to Ray Kyle Taisagui, who gets it off to Oratile, who's going to get taken into touch. That's going to be an Indiana line out. Couple of miscues on the first two lineouts for Indiana. And Triton steal the third one. Harrison Dalton with it. Settles with taking that one into contact. James Kua-Iwi-Nui, first touch there is going to be lost forward. And it's going to be a penalty awarded to Iowa Central, not releasing the ball, says the sir. Center field here, lots of wind. We'll see what the call is. Kick for touch, Iowa Central line out. Nice ball, received well over the top. Hard line by Herbert Evans. He's going to break free a bit here. He's going to get a solid stiff arm in there. He's looking for the corner. Try awarded, says the sir. That's going to be 7 on the board for the Tritons. Or 5 on the board with the pending conversion attempt. Harrison Dalton's got quite a challenge in front of him, kicking basically from the touchline. He's got the distance. It's going to be just a shade wide left. Tough kick there from the channel. 28-15 remains a tally. Triton's down by 13, but set to receive here. Nice high kick there. Lost forward by Tritons. Scooped up by Indiana. They're going to have a scrum advantage. Fly half alone, but making some moves in the open field. Lane Prusner finally getting it wrapped up. Big number 4 for Indiana, running hard. He does a nice job with ball in hand. Loose head prop running hard. Hugo Menard grabbing hold of a leg and hanging on for dear life. I believe that was Philip Woodhouse with the clean poach attempt. And a penalty awarded to the Tritons. Hugo Menard had a quick tap and go and got wrapped up well before 10. But no quick allowed, said the sir, so he's going to be kicking from back there. Got him outside the 22. It's going to be a line out to the Tritons. Stolen line out, Indiana inside Tritons 22. Herbert Evans wrapping up that shifty fullback. He's still going to drive forward for a few meters. Good team tackle there by Lane Prusner and Philip Woodhouse. Number 13 shredding the boys in blue. Try awarded for Indiana. I think Tritons were calling for a couple of the guys to be double movements there, but nothing called except for 5 on the board for the Hoosiers. Wide left. Strong attempt there. 33-15 is the tally. Indiana up by 18. Hard line for the 8-man. Offload to the 6. And Indiana knocking on the door again. Good counter ruck. That was after the whistle. We're actually going to have a scrum down to the Tritons here for the knock-on. Going to be a penalty against the Tritons for not releasing on Gus Sokol there. Indiana causing problems, talking again, and it's going to be a penalty in favor of the Tritons instead here. Sir has had enough of it. I believe that's the third penalty for talking. It's going to be notched straight off the line out there. Scrum down elected by Indiana. Big push by the Tritons. Ball finally finds its way out the back. Scrum half's going to get this one out wide. Hugo Menard's the only one on the hunt here. Ray Kyle Taisagu finds one. Scrum half tackled from behind by Herbert Evans there. Iowa Central looked like they were in place to poach. No penalty called. It's going to be Indiana knocking on the door again. Another offload back to the inside and then back out to the outside again. Strong work between the fullback and the lock. Two of the strongest players for Indiana. Conversion attempt successful. And we are looking at 40-15. Kickoff received well by Indiana. Kick over the top. Ran onto by the fullback. Indiana's going to settle this in. There an offload. Harrison Dalton's going to receive it. Good clear out, but not before the ball was poached. Indiana has it back again. Deep kick coming into the hands of Ray Kyle Taisagui. He's going to make a nice move. He is going to get tackled from behind, though. Strong counter ruck from Indiana coming. That ball's going to be scooped up by the boys in red. Off to the tight head prop. He's going to try to get it to the flanker. Never could. Bodies hitting the deck all over for both teams. Ball's going to be lost forward. Scrum advantage for the Tritons. He gets, that was Tavius Akor-Mathis scooping that one up. He gets it off to Hugh Menard, who gets it out to Ray Kyle. Ray Kyle gets it to Oratile. Oratile is going to be wrapped up. Still about 19 minutes left in this game. It's not quite over yet. Tavius Akor-Mathis finding a gap. He's going to get a stiff arm. He's off to the races. Indiana's going to make a nice tackle. And a solid ruck set up there by Iowa Central. Herbert Evans stepping outside. Missed tackles there by Indiana. Xavier Ellis beat one. Gus Sokol, he's running hard. Both teams just absolutely exhausted out there right now. We're gonna see what the call is for sure here. I believe it's going to be a scrum down. They're saying it was a clean poach attempt, but the ball was knocked forward by Indiana, so it's just going to be a scrum down to the Tritons. Dead center here. Split backs. Tritons knocking on the door. Reset on the scrum coming. Attempted pick and go by the 8-man there. Ball lost. Picked up by the scrum half for Indiana. Let me see what the call is here. A lot was going on there. I believe it is going to be a scrum down for the Tritons. Dakota Southworth running hard. Strong tackle by Indiana. Harrison Dalton, he's going to take a banger himself. Ball stripped, scooped up by Indiana. I believe Indiana's going to have the put on the scrum down.
Stay deep for the kick.
Ball knocked forward. It's going to be advantage Tritons. Taken into touch. We're going to go back to the original knock. It will be a scrum down to Iowa Central on the far side of the field. Harrison Dalton tried to get that one out the back to Oratile. Oratile got stripped in contact. Number 13 did a nice job there. Xavier Ellis on the hunt. Philip Woodhouse doing a great job there. Herbert Evans with the poach, and it's going to be Iowa Central ball. Aiden Farrell gets this one out to George Brendo, who gets it out to Gus Sokol, who's going to get it out wide to Tavius Sikora Mathis. Those were all forwards passing the ball across the field for some reason. Offload by Tavius Sikora Mathis and Dakota Southworth kicking this one forward. Kick coming just over the hands of Ray Kyle Taisagui. It's going to be in the 22. He's going to be trying to kick it as well. Everybody's offsides until now. 8-man kick over the top. Aiden Farrell is going to sidestep it. He's going to find a little bit of a lane here. He's going to get off to Herbert Evans. Herbert Evans looking for some support, trying to find a gap. He's going to get tackled. We're going to see, it is a penalty. I think it was playing the man on the kick and no wrap on the attempted tackle hit there. So it's going to be a penalty awarded to Iowa Central. Play has stopped. Clock is off. I believe that's the fullback. Fullback for Indiana is going to get some help off the field. He's had himself quite a day on the pitch. Late hit, no wrap. Lucky to get away without a card there. Kick out of hand coming for Iowa Central. Ball slapped forward by Red. Straight down, I believe, was the call, actually. Scooped up well by Dakota Southworth. Into the hands of Hugo Menard. Gets it out to Harrison Dalton, who finds a little bit of a lane, but a nice open field tackle again for Indiana. George Brenda going to be the recipient of a standstill tackle there. Colin Butine running forward. Out in the hands of Philip Woodhouse. LaDon Mathis taking that one in. Offsides by Red. Tap and go. Hugo Menard gets on to Gus Sokol. Gus Sokol at the head of steam, running forward. Inside the 5-meter line now is Iowa Central. This ball finds the ground. Xavier Ellis going to scoop it up. He's hard charging. Right on the line, and Philip Woodhouse is going to scoop this up and dive it over. Put 5 on the board for Iowa Central. (40-20). Had some stoppage time. My guess is probably 11 to 12 minutes left in this match. It's not over yet, but Iowa Central needs to use the momentum and keep it rolling strong and fast here. Harrison Dalton hooks it in just on the inside of the upright. 40-22 is the tally. Nice high kick from Indiana. Back to Harrison Dalton. He's going to receive it well and get met right away with some contact. There's going to be a penalty against Indiana for not getting the hands out. Not back 10, says the sir. There's going to be another penalty in favor of the Tritons. Out to Lane Prusner. Lane Prusner has a head of steam. He gets it out to Harrison Dalton. Looking for some support. Gets it back to Lane Prusner. Lane Prusner looking to get it to Hugo Menard, who gets it offload into George Brenda's hands. Triton's going to settle this one midfield. But Don Mathis looking to take this one in. Mike McDaniel running this one hard in. Philip Woodhouse. Humanar out to Gus Sokol. Gus Sokol getting wrapped around the head pretty hard there. And it's going to be a penalty advantage to the Tritons. Humanar goes wide with this one into the hands of Dakota Southworth, who's going to throw the ball. I think it went forward. Yeah, it's going to be called forward. I don't think that was an intentional pass. So we're going to have a scrum down to Indiana here. Big push from the Tritons. Indiana get it out the back, though. Imagine a kick's coming, and there it is. Fly half kicking. That ball's going to stay in and go off the hands of Oratile into touch. I believe that's going to be a line out to Indiana off the mistake. Oh, no. Looks like it's being called a line out to the Tritons. I think I saw that a little different up here, but they are a lot closer to the action than I am. Mike McDaniel on the throw. Gus Sokol taking that one out of the bag. Doing a nice job running that hard. Strong counter ruck from Indiana. Attempted kick through there. Harrison Dalton with the stiff arm. Herbert Everett gets that one out to Ray Kyle, and it's going to be an advantage to Indiana off the knock. Ball stays in, gets out the back. Ball lost forward, and Herbert Evans scoops it up. And he's going to get it centered. Try time, Tritons. 40-27 pending conversion attempt. Harrison Dalton receives that well. Tackled by number 20, who is only about 3 meters offsides on the kickoff. Hugo Menard looking for some help on the outside. Gets it off to Xavier Ellis. A dummy pass. Not bitten. Nice tackle in the open field by number 12 for Indiana there. Aiden Farrell gets a pass. Very nice pass for the conditions he was in. Almost going into touch. No wrap on the attempted tackle there when Aiden Farrell was getting shoved into touch, and it's going to be a penalty against Indiana. Hugo Menard is down in the backfield. We're going to have time off. Stolen ball by Indiana. Ray Nick on the tackle. (40-29) is your tally here. Indiana coming out successful over the Tritons. A little bit of extracurriculars going on. We're just going to keep the camera rolling. Keep it right on it. Zoom out if you have to. (40-29) is your tally here. That is the final score. Indiana with the W. Second side coming up. Take a break and we'll see you back then.